Three, two, one. Today is March 25th, 11 o'clock or 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time for those of you guys that have a Brooklyn accent and all the other ones too. I have been back-to-back meetings today. It's a little bit crazy when you're having an app developed and then everything keeps changing. Laws are changing. It's crazy. The stuff we're going to go over some cool stuff today. But first of all, I just want to do what we do every Tuesday, every mastermind is welcome everyone. This is, as far as I know, the only mastermind for process servers. We have a professional group on the community called School. It's an app kind of like Facebook specific for communities. So if you're not on there already, you're going to want to go join. Go to mightyprocessserver.com. We give you all the tools and resources you need as a process server to crush it, to grow a business, to be able to manage your business and network and connect with others. Um, the platform is growing leaps and bounds every day, and we're meeting new process servers across the country and getting to know them. It's a lot of fun. I've been calling people. A lot of you guys are here because I called you and said, "Hey, and have you heard of my podcast?" And you humbled me by saying no. And I got to know a little bit about you and your business, and then you come into the community, and then we see you once every couple months, and I love it. So if you want to introduce yourself and highlight your business and have an opportunity to potentially get business from other process servers across the country, that's one thing that makes our industry a little bit different than others, is that we can actually send work to each other. Not only are we competitors, we're affiliated with each other in the way that we can send each other business and actually pay each other. This is why we can leave each other reviews, by the way. A lot of people will say things like, "Oh, you can't leave a review, this person." Actually, yes, I can, because they are often my client or they're often my server working for me, showing me
You
how
just want?
professional they are. So, being that Adele is off mute and showing her camera, we will let her be the first one to introduce herself. Go ahead, Adele.
Hey, I'm Adele with Rhino Justice here in the Houston, Galveston, Texas area. Been doing process serving for 2 years. Excited to be here today. Kind of sad that we don't do it more than once a week, but hey, it's once a week, and sometimes we can't always make it because I know there'll be a week I can't do it. But I'm happy to be here with everybody today.
Yeah, well, welcome from the Space Center, Elon Musk
Yeah, hey,
Space
Texas,
Center.
here we go to the moon. Just kidding, to Mars.
To Mars. That's right. It's Mars. Mars is the cool tagline now. Yeah, I love it. So, welcome. Appreciate you coming.
Yeah.
All right, next we have Mr. Sean.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Sean Griffin, Griffin on the Go, located in Maryland. Um, Been doing this for a little while now. Still love getting out and doing it, especially when it's 65 and sunny out.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I saw the weather yesterday with my son, and we have this joke: when it's over 40 degrees, it's Harley weather. It's like during the winter. And it almost never happens. And now it's like literally the whole week shows 70. And I'm just like, "Oh, thank you." So when I'm not here trying to build something awesome, then I am on my Harley enjoying the wind and therapy. So welcome, Sean. Appreciate you coming. All right, Miss Sandra. Excited to see you on here.
I'm excited to be here. Hello, everyone. So I'm Sandra Kimbrough with Swan Legal Services out of Texas. I serve the northeast region of Texas mostly. So I'm also a licensed PI. I've been doing this since 2018.
Well, welcome, welcome. Definitely appreciate you and appreciate all of your engagement in the community. And since I have you on here, I will just highlight you. You are the winner of this month's engagement award. I am sending you 100, one Benjamin. We'll say one Benjamin.
Oh, awesome.
Congratulations.
Thank
Yes.
y'all.
Yes,
Thank you.
I'll reach out to you in school to get your info, and I will cash app it to you immediately, and you can I don't know, take someone out for some dinner. Hopefully. Can you buy dinner on $100 now? I don't know.
Oh yeah, I can. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, you can. Actually, you can because Sean sent me some barbecue, and me and my son both ate, and we had plenty of food. So you can. That's true. Good stuff. Well, welcome, Sandra. Congratulations, and we appreciate you in the community. All right, Mr. Chris with
Hey, what's
Resilient.
going on? Chris McCloy here. I own Diamondback Process Servers over in the San Antonio, Texas. I've been out here since 22, been in the industry since 2016. I have Resilient Process Servers back, what I call home, since I spent a long time out there, Seattle area. Um, I didn't really plan on having two different names for the business, two different, but doing the same thing, but kind of is what it is there. So, just kind of rolling with it. And, we just opened up out in Wisconsin. So I'm looking forward to that. And I'm already getting some clients out that way. So, yeah, with that said, been in this industry since, 16 and been kind of transitioning over to the, management side versus being out there all the time, serving documents in person, out in the field. So, yeah,
Yeah.
good to be here.
Well, welcome, Chris. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you coming.
All right.
All right, let's see. Screens are moving around here. Jacob.
All right. What's up, guys? Jacob Davis here in San Antonio, Texas. Since 2018, thanks to Mike and this community, we've been really focused the last 6 months, 4 months, I guess it is. So we've been growing, pushing from Austin, San Marcos, New Braunfels, down 35 to San Antonio. That's really today, that's as much as I want to push. Honestly, like, I love what I have going on. If there's anybody who could say that I love this industry, it would be myself. What I love more about this is private delivery. So, if you ever want to have that conversation, I will have it with you. Private delivery is a great niche that I enjoy. But once again, thanks, Mike, and everybody else here in the community. I've been able to plug in, plug out, get busy, and then on downtime, try to catch up with you guys. So I see a lot of activity. Congratulations, Sandra. So
Yeah, right, Sandra. Yeah, well, welcome, Jacob. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you coming. I know you're from the old PSD University days, and
yeah,
we gave it a shot once before, and it didn't stick, but this time it is. This time
that's
we're
right.
all in, and whatever it takes, we're building this community to be the number one community in the country of just because of you guys, the support and the things you put into it. Oftentimes in the community, I see things and I'm like, I'm gonna post, but actually I don't need to say anything. They said it better than I could have said it. So I love that. That's when you know a community's taken off. So looks like we have one more person with their camera on here, and that is Mr. West. How you doing, sir? It looks like you're on mute. Let's see.
Okay, is that better? Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. Yes, we got you.
Okay. Yes, my name's Terry West. I'm in the Fort Worth, Texas area. This is my second time getting on this meeting. Got on a couple of weeks ago, just to see what was going on, how things was going. I've been serving since 2018. Started working for a PI, serving subpoenas for him, and he taught me into getting my certification so I can kind of branch out on my own. Now I'm trying to learn how to really grow the business. And I got an email from you one day and just follow up on the email. And now here I am. I know we have several people from Texas. Maybe y'all can give me some insight on how to grow this thing. I do most of my work right now for these big companies,
Mm.
uh, and I'm trying to get away from that and kind of branch out on my own.
Yeah.
And I hope you guys can kind of teach me how to do that.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely. You're in the right place. You're in the right place, Mr. West. Appreciate you coming and look forward to seeing you many more Tuesdays and inside the community. Well, you're welcome to reach out to anybody on the members page. We have some, I don't see any more cameras on. We got lots of other people on here. If you're on YouTube, comment YouTube and comment if you're watching the replay, comment replay. And welcome, Terry. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
All right, so I see lots of chat happening. Jessica says congrats. And let's see. Welcome, Jessica. All right, so let's go ahead and get into a couple things, and then you can go ahead and hit the little raise your hand if you have a topic or a comment. That's probably the cleanest way to make it, especially as the meetings grow. To put your hand up, and we can go ahead and have a conversation, or even if you have a topic you want to share, you can put it in the chat as well. All right, so let's go ahead and get into a couple of housekeeping. Um, it drives me crazy when people use that term, actually, but uh, oh yeah, here Paul's joining. Okay, cool. So a couple of things I do want people to know about. I'm going to share inside the community, just because that's what we're doing. We're all about community, right? Is inside the community, you have a members tab. And Paul here just joined Free State. He's actually a brand new directory member as well. If you are on your computer, you can actually come over here and click on join Mighty Premium. It will take you to become a Mighty Premium member, and we will give you access. Well, first of all, we'll give you a directory listing on our website, mightyprocessserver.com. You get a statewide listing, and we give you, for right now, we're not going to do this forever, but right now, anyone who does sign up, we give you access to Mighty Automation, which is a few different tools combined, one of them being Go High Level. And we integrate all of your marketing into one platform. And it's just one fee that you pay. Right now, it's $57 a month. So Paul is our most recent member. You have a question? I heard somebody. Chris. Yeah. Yeah. Feel free to raise your hand or comment in the chat if you have any questions. So one thing I wanted to say, though, is that you can come over here to members and you can actually message them. So if you're brand new to the community, it might want you to make a post and get a couple of points. If you're confused about the leadership board or what points are and how they work, basically, Sandra, reach out to Sandra. Okay. Because she just won this month's most engaged person. She took off and won it. She's doing a really good job. But anyway, you can actually reach out to these people directly. It is turned off until you reach level 2 because we don't want spammers to come into the community and just start messaging everybody, right? But if you're brand new and you get to level 2 on the leaderboard, you can actually start to reach out to these people. You know, I have an auto reach out that asks everybody like how they heard about the community, and 99% of them say, "You sent me an email." And at some point, we are going to do a training on what that actually means and how it actually works. So let's see. Let's keep things in order today. Today's mastermind call. So what I was thinking, yeah. So ChatGPT helped me make this a little bit more animated, and it kind of went a little overboard. But if you're not sure what we're talking about, this is what we're talking about today. We're talking about contract clients. And the reason why we're talking about that, just so you know, because this is a mastermind. This is not Mike's mind. This is a mastermind. And one of the things that we did is I came up with a poll. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find it here right away, but I came up with a poll, and I've since unpinned the poll wherever it is. But you guys overwhelmingly decided that this is what you wanted to talk about, was how to get contract clients and all things about contract clients. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So there's a few different pluses we're going to talk about, and then we're going to get into some of the negatives. And I'm going to talk to you about specifically how you can go get them in your community today. So I'm going to stop share so we can kind of have a conversation about this. And if you're on YouTube, go ahead and comment your question. And do we still have Mark? You awake, Mark?
Yeah, I'm here.
Keep track of the YouTube comments for me if you could.
Sure.
Over at Mighty Process Server YouTube channel. If anybody has anything useful to say. So the first thing is consistent work. So one of the things with bulk clients is really cool is you can get regular, consistent business. But what else does that sound like? Some of the bigger companies that send you work, like what Mr. West was just saying. Okay. Yes, very similar to that. You're going to get, 10 jobs from one big company. But what does that big company often want? They want a discount, right? Because they're sending you a lot of work. The main difference between these bigger companies that send you 5 to 10 jobs and this collection client that sends you massive amounts of work. The one big difference for me as a business owner, and I'm going to open this up to you guys if you have feedback on your experiences, because a lot of you do have experience with this, is that the collection clients don't call you. As a matter of fact, sometimes you wonder if they even care. You're like, they paid me and they keep sending me work, but I haven't heard from anyone for a year. I just keep serving it and they keep sending me more work. Whereas the affiliate will call you 12 times today and ask for status, right? So if I could narrow it down to one thing, I would say they're nearly identical, except for that. And I'll open it
I
up to
think
you guys.
I think it depends on your affiliate, or maybe it just depends on how good of a server you are. Because I don't have my affiliates rarely have to call me unless they have somebody on there. Like, I mean, they'll have like non-rush and they'll be like, oh, I need a status. And it's not even been,
Yeah.
24 hours. But most of my affiliates, at least I've been thankful that I don't have hounding me at all.
Would you say that you have more than like 20 affiliates that send you work?
I don't have more than 20 affiliates.
Okay. Yeah, as you start to get so many affiliates, because they'll tell each other. They'll say, "Oh, Mr. West is the best guy in that area," right? And then this other one will start calling him, and then, Mr. Griffin, he gets it done right away. Call him. And so all of a sudden, yeah, right. Adele is great. And so you're doing a great job, and so you'll start getting like lots and lots of affiliates that'll send you stuff. And what you'll find is that you're right. Not all of them will do that, but then a good majority of them do. Like probably if I have 20 affiliates that send me stuff, which I don't anymore, but if I did, I would, because I kind of priced myself out of their range. Once I got past like $75, they were like, okay. They started using other people in the local areas where I have a lot of marketing and stuff. But yeah, if you this is a good point to make, is that if you communicate status, you use software to communicate status, and you actually do communicate status right away. Like Cliff Jacobs was really good. I've talked about him a few times. Is like, Mike, can you deliver status by 9 a.m. the day after you make an attempt or serve it? Is that too much to ask? And that's a great question to ask when you hire somebody. It's like, hey, if I send you this work today and you make an attempt, or if I send you the work whenever I send it to you, if you make an attempt, let's say today, is it too much to ask for you to report status by 9 a.m. the next day? If you're not using software, it might be too much to ask. It might be too much to ask because now you have a huge list of things, right?
So maybe that's why, like Mike, with maybe I don't have people hounding me for statuses, is because every day I go ahead, if I have the serves at the end of the night, it might be 10 o'clock at night, I will go ahead and do all my updating. It might take 2-3 hours after I come home, but I do all my updating so everybody has a status of what I went ahead and did. So no
Okay.
matter what, it all gets done.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Great feedback. What other things do you guys think that when it comes to this part of it, the status part of it? Do you use a software that makes it easier for you? Is that kind of like where you're just like, Mike, that's not an issue for me because boom, this is how my team does it? Or is this a big problem when people call and want status and now you gotta like, okay, what's your like who's the person? I'm trying to knock on someone's door. Like if you're a one man show, you're like, well, maybe you don't have too many jobs. So you're like, oh yeah, I already did that one. That was the one yesterday over in whatever town, whatever off of whatever freeway. Is that you, or are you the person that's saying, um, I have no idea. I have 40 serves in my bucket that I got to serve today, and I've served 20 every day the last every day for the last 20 days. So I don't know. I got to go look it up. Sandra.
I I use a software. So I use software. I usually notify them while I'm normally still at the location. But I'm finding that some of my repeat affiliates, yeah, they don't check their email. So
Mm,
that sometimes could be a problem, and you just have to still be kind of patient because they don't check their emails, and 2 or 3 days later they'll reach out and say, hey, well, what's the status? And I'm like, yeah, I closed the file, I've done it, you know. But that's one of the things that, again, you have to just pay attention to, and don't take it personal. Just go back in my software, resend, don't argue. Just, hey, what is it? Anything else you need? I'll resend it, and be done with it.
yeah. Oh, you got muted.
So, so that's how I handle it, because right now, yeah, I'm kind of it. And then with the discounts, yeah, I had someone reach out to me a couple of days ago. They wanted an $80 discount on my regular rate. That was a hard pass for me. So, but
Okay.
that's different than the having the big bulk and having the contract.
Is my internet slow, or is that Sandra?
That might be me.
It's okay. It's okay. I heard everything you said, but it was at a different than your mouth. I was like,
Okay.
what is happening?
Yeah, it was
Well, I'm
like
gonna move
watching a
quickly.
martial arts movie. Like,
Yeah.
I never assume. I always assume it's me first, and then you see what happens. But
Starlink for that one, Mike.
I know my Starlink is working great. I don't know. Sometimes
Oh,
it
you got
doesn't.
Star. Oh, I was just wasn't sure. I didn't know if you had Starlinks. That's what's like recommended.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It really is. And he's in. I just, if we could all implement like Elon Musk, we would have everything. Political people get crazy about the political part, but like you can't argue with the execution. It's just crazy. So, yeah. So process serving and oh, well, I love the feedback, Sandra. I love the feedback. Yeah. When it comes to sometimes affiliates will look up stuff and they'll get a call. I'll tell you what'll happen because my team does it. Is they'll get a call from a client going, "Hey, what's going on with this one?" When they should have gotten a status already, probably. And then the team goes and looks who has it, and then they go look to see who it is, and they call them
Instead of checking the status.
instead of checking the status. And sometimes the status was sent via email, sometimes it was sent through the system. We use multiple systems, Serve Manager, PST, and then we're building our own. So, and we're going to use it internally for a while before we release it to everybody. But I want to have just the absolute best ability to manage jobs. No Thursday anymore, Chris. Yes, that's right. No more Thursdays. Yeah, we can do a mastermind a week. We got this. And then we can go crush it the rest of the week. Okay, so great feedback, both of you. More feedback is good too. But let's move on to a couple bad things. So we talked about status, the collection clients like it, because I want to get to how to get them, right? They often pay. Okay, so one thing is with both of them, they often like to pay 30 to 60 days. So affiliates are 30 days or they don't pay. Like I pay up front if I don't send you a lot of work, I send you one-off jobs, I immediately pay. Immediately. And what I prefer to do is do Cash App Honestly, that's what I prefer to do because it's just fast and easy. If somebody wants a credit card, that's even better because and they have a link and they're actually prepared like a business. No offense for those of you that aren't. Okay, we can help you set it up. Mighty automation, right? Um, but those that are prepared, I have no problem ordering on their website. You know what I mean? Like pay them on their website. I don't necessarily need a discount if you're going to go give me great service, right? So with collection clients, I'm kind of generalizing it, but collection clients, Department of Child Support Services, parking ticket meters, government contracts, code enforcement tickets. We're going to get into all of these. And there's just so many other business opportunities around them. I'm trying to stay focused because for me, I don't see just code violation tickets, or parking ticket services, right, where you serve someone after it. I also see that I can buy a junk car for $200 and sell it for 1,000, right? Like this is like some business, the entrepreneur in me. So I'm going to try to stay focused on process serving, but collection clients kind of fall, these bulk clients kind of fall into all of this. And then we just exclude affiliates because of the status situation. But I don't want you to, like what Mr. West was saying earlier, he's trying to get away from it. It kind of becomes a theme that you hear from a lot of process servers in the industry. And I remember going through it. And the reason why is because you want more money per client. And attorneys have no problem paying your fee. And here's how you know, because they'll pay me $147 and have no problem with the fact that I'm paying you 50. They have no problem with that because I'm going to white glove make sure that it's served. I'm going to vet the process server. I'm going to, if that server doesn't serve it, I'm still paying them and I'm going to go pay another server. You see what I'm saying? They don't want it. Just call me Mike when it's served, or don't even call me. Just send me the proof of service, right? If it has to be notarized, you know that it needs to be notarized, Mike. You deal with it. This is why they're willing to pay more. So you can't expect an attorney to do a proof of service, would you? You wouldn't ask an attorney, can you send me a proof of service to fill out? And I've done that before in places where you don't know what kind of proof they want. Like if you want something specific, send it over. Like I'll sign it. Well, I'll have the server sign it. But other than that, you pretty much prepare it for them. So when it comes to the 30/60, can you serve 500 papers this month without receiving a payment for 60 days?
If you're a brand newbie, I would say no. But if you have other affiliates, you would be able to serve those papers because you have money coming in from other sources so that you could wait for that payment. And that's just from my own experience. Right now, I could wait 30 days and I do on a couple of my clients, but others, I have, coming in daily or weekly or every 2 weeks so that it would supplement it.
Yeah, that's sure. Good. Good. Sean?
Yeah, I'm not worried about the money. I'll get it eventually. It's not important.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. Yeah. 30, 60 days, it's like, but then I had one collection client that would pay up front every time. And they insisted on me coming by and picking up the check. And, I didn't argue with them too often.
I'm used to doing work with the government for like 14 years, so I'm used to not getting paid when I'm supposed to get paid.
Yeah. Yeah. And what's crazy about that is they do pay. There was one contract, Department of Child Support Services, where they went on a hiring freeze and a payment freeze and all this, and it took them 6 months to pay me. But by the time they paid me, it was a nice, solid paycheck, and I kept serving as if they were paying me, right? But what if I would have after the 60 days said, I can't do this. This is ridiculous. I would have lost that client, right? So think about that when you're doing this, knowing that hey, this will be a delay cash flow. Like one of the reasons why you'll see some people like me and Mike Kern and some other people I know Steve Glenn, some of these guys that have these contracts will say when someone's complaining about being paid, it's been 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks and I haven't been paid. And it's like, how was he supposed to pay you? That's my first question. It's like, what did you agree on? They go, well, he said he was going to send a check. Sending a check almost always means net 30 because it goes in a list of checks. It goes in a list of bills that need to be paid that month. And when they get around to writing and sending checks, it'll be sent. So I'm not saying that you're wrong when you're saying it's been 2 weeks. I'm just saying that understand that some of these bigger companies that have payroll that send out checks regularly, they send them out once a month. They don't send them out every day. Some of them do, of course, but I'm just saying in general, right? I learned that I forget things too easily. And if I don't have like a list of things to do, like if we are sending a check, it is going once a month. If I'm if I'm paying a one-off server, I'm paying them immediately because I don't ever want to hear like, oh, I didn't, I went and served it right away and because I understand what it was like to be a process server. And that money that I got was what I used to go buy groceries, right? And I also had to pay for gas. And then they requested a refund because I didn't serve it because it was a bad address. And I was like, I have a no refund policy because I have no money. I have a no money policy. And I'm laughing because I went through it and it was hard, right? Like when way back, like in 2014 when I got divorced and was like going through all this stuff. So I feel for those people. So when I pay them, even if there's some issue, I will often just no worries. I'll hire someone else. You couldn't do it, and I don't beat them up on a refund. Refunds to me, and I saw a post recently about refunds. I did not read it all the way through, but I was like, yes, someone's talking about refunds. So I don't know if that was in line with it, what you were saying, Sandra, but I do remember it's on my list to go back and read.
Yeah, I posted. So I do have a no refund policy, but this situation was a little different. It's a returning client. Um, and I just refunded it, which against my policy. However, yeah, go back and read the situation. But bottom line is this: if you have clients that's always sending you money, hold on, sorry,
Hey, it's new business. You answer.
yeah, it is.
You go ahead.
But if you have a client that's been there since basically I started, they'll send me one here, one there. It's not a routine big bulk every time. However, they send me work. They don't argue about my fees. They pay me up front. They don't bug and hassle me. And I'm sure they've made some referrals to me. But this is the kind of client that just kind of like me, kind of stay in the background undercover, no muss, no fuss. Don't want pats on the backs with broken arms and all that. So I just made a business decision and just refunded the whole fee. But that was yesterday. This morning, that same client sent me more work.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
you just got to pay attention to your clients, and I do little things for my repeat customers. Maybe run a soft pull on a address, maybe do a due diligence report, something that's just say thank you, because they always pay whatever that fee is, and they send it, I bill it, they pay it, I go work it, and we got a good relationship. I want to keep that.
Yeah. Isn't it funny to think about how you think about a certain client? Like you hear their name and you think about a certain client and you're like, oh yeah, he always pays. Like they always pay on time. I had one, well, they still send stuff sometimes, but I don't deal with it, but I know them very well. Sandelman's his name, and he would have no problem paying whatever I sent him. And I'm ashamed to say that one time I made the bill really high to see if he would say anything. and not too high, but like a couple hundred extra dollars because I did some extra work, but I normally wouldn't charge for it. And so I charged an extra couple hundred, and it was probably like 800 total. And normally around 500 for serving two or three people, which is what he normally did. And he paid immediately. And after that, I thought to myself, they're just on a whole nother level. They're operating at a whole different level of like, Mike, you don't charge enough. Mike, you do a great job. You're professional. Like you, and that looking back now that I've moved away from there and we hire other people there, the service is not as great because they don't get that hands-on treatment. And I realize in the moment, you don't realize what you're worth. If you do a great job, great for you. But most people, and myself included, don't realize what you're actually worth. If you're doing hands-on service, you're actually like putting in the work for them and you're showing up and you're serving and you're delivering the proof and you're showing up in person. There is nothing more valuable to an attorney than a process server or a private investigator that's willing to go the extra mile. It's willing to show up to court. Whether paid or not, doesn't matter. Your time is worth something, but are you willing to even do it? Will you show up to court and testify? Will you do a proof of service? Will you communicate status without them bugging you about it? These are important things. So waiting to get paid is big. High competition. We're all on here because we all want to talk about it today. High competition. Everybody wants to get the contract clients. We're going to talk about here briefly on how to what I do to go after them. May require high insurance premiums. This is something that recently when I was going after a big client, they wanted me to get big insurance. I told them, can I get through the process first and then go get this insurance? Because this is going to cost me a lot of money, hundreds of thousands of dollars a year to get if I would have landed this client. And somebody else ended up getting one of the alphabet companies, got them, and because they always get them every year. And if I would have got them, it would have been, I don't want to say life changing, but it would have been huge. I would have been probably hiring all of you like more than I do now if I've ever hired you. And the insurance was crazy. And so for these contract clients, these lower ones that are just localized in that county, in those three counties, they do require that you have Arizona emissions insurance. Not every state requires it, but these bigger collection clients will require Arizona emissions insurance if you're serving all of their serves. Some of them will require that you actually come in and present the process that you go through, right? Especially the Department of Child Support Services. Come in and present, like, this is how we do it. Meet my so-and-so manager, my, operations manager. This is how we do it. This is how we ensure that your business is secure. I actually got a lockbox, Department of Child Support Services, for one of the contracts we got. It's funny because they don't all require it. It's the person who wants to make you jump through some hoops to say that they made sure you were compliant. And so just do it. Just jump through the hoops. What's the dance? The dance monkey dance? Like, just do the dance, right? Get the work and then do your work. Get it served. You got one job, go serve it, right? So one wanted this lockbox that when the server got out of the car to go to knock on the door, the lockbox was locked. I said, well, the car's locked. Well, what if you leave your car running? Is it locked then? I'm like, well, no. You can do that though, by the way. You can set it up where you do that. I'm like, no. And they're like, well, someone could technically get in there and get it, right? Yeah, technically, I guess. So I got the lockbox just to make that person happy. It sat in my back seat and I never used it. But if anyone ever came up to the car, I could go, yep, your serves are in that box. Okay, no worries. So there's some hoops that have you guys, well, there's a few other things I'm gonna go down the list here, but have you guys ever experienced any of your clients requesting something odd like that?
I haven't. I mean, but I kind of do what you spoke of, you know, anyway. So because I do go to areas that require security, so it's when I started, it was just a no-brainer for me. So I didn't have to be, told to do certain things.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Jessica, you had a comment?
Oh, a couple minutes ago when you were talking about, getting paid net 60. So, what's like the general goal to have in mind if you're trying to get a contract? How much cash are you trying to have on hand to pay your servers if you're not the one doing all the 500 serves?
Good point. Yeah, yeah. Do that number. What is it? What is it that you need? For me, on my I have a Google Sheet that has multiple tabs on it, and one of them is projections. And there's one thing that Warren Buffett talks about. I study Warren Buffett. I love all of the stuff he writes, the stuff he goes deep into. Rule number one. Does anybody know Warren Buffett's rule number one? He's got 10 rules, but you know his rule number one. It's pretty funny. Is never lose money. Rule number two is never forget rule number one. Right? Those are the two rules that people always quote. There's a bunch of other ones too, but like actual rules, not just don't lose money, which is the most important. But one of them is I don't know which number it is. I can't remember, but it's never speculate. But when you're doing projections, you are speculating. You're speculating that how much money am I going to get next month from these other customers? And this is why having the website and all of the foundations and getting attorneys to send you work is so powerful. Because remember what I've told you, like how many of the one-off attorneys who only send you like one or two jobs a month, it seems like nothing, right? If you're getting hundreds of jobs a month, that one attorney who sends you two can easily fall through the cracks. But if you have 100 of those attorneys that all send you one or two, and then you go get a contract client, and then you go get, and you start adding all of these different client types, those ones and twosies who pay you up front or who pay on your website, they fund your operation as you're going so that while you can go and land these bigger clients. That's how it happened for me. Sean,
I
you
have
had
a,
something?
What's up?
Oh, I saw you on mute. I thought
Oh
you
no,
had something.
that was an accident. But no, I mean, one way to, fund it, I don't recommend necessarily doing so, is maybe contacting the bank that you work with, and maybe if they can supply you a line of credit or something, and don't use that line of credit for bullshit stuff. Use it legitimately for your operation.
Yeah.
Not lunch money and all that kind of stuff, because I don't know. Like right now I have $100,000 line of credit that I don't know that I've used in probably 6 years since or probably 4 years since I closed my delivery business. But every once in a while, I use it just to keep it active so that way they don't, lower it or, whatever. But that's one option, I guess, if you are trying to get like a client that's not going to pay you for a couple months.
Yeah. That's good. Line of credit's good. Yeah, actually, that's one of the advice that Kern gave me back in the days. I said, what do you do? Because we were advancing, when you file something with a California court, we were advancing the fees. When you go down to the courthouse, you take a check and you put it on the documents and you file it for $435. You get 25 filings. $435 adds up fast. And I told him, I was like, how do you manage this, Mike? You're in LA. And he was like, filing thousands of papers a day. And he's like, you got to have a line of credit. He's like, even if you had the money, why would you want your income, your bank account income to, it should be a line of credit. Use the bank's money for like 1 or 2%. Like what, who cares? Like you're going to pay it back the next day when the money hits your account. So love it. Great, great advice, Sean. Adele, you had something?
I just was wondering is like when you do say like, like lowering the price because it would be bulk, what would be like the pricing that is like, how low are you going from your regular price?
I love it. This is different for everybody, right? So for me, what I figured was it's a creep up, right? So like when I started, I was doing jobs for like $25 a piece. If you got no business, go hit that point where you think is close to what the competition's doing so you could get some work. Don't go like to $10 or whatever, but But I think it's different for everybody, and you got to try to creep your way up. $25 was what I did back in the day. I can't imagine serving for less than 50 now. Our contract clients that we still do some work for, it's 65, right? For
Okay.
our collection clients. And it's so easy now because they know what to expect and everything. 65 is like more than enough because they're they send thousands of jobs a month. So
Do you,
um
do you with them say like, if they are giving bulk, this is the amount, like I need at least like, okay, I need at least 100 papers. Do you ever say there has to be at
mm,
least an amount for a bulk to go ahead and give them the discount or?
yeah. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because you get people who will call you and go like, how much you charge in this area? And you tell them the amount, and then they're like, well, can you give me a discount? Or can you give me, is that your affiliate rate? I actually teach my people to say that. Is that your affiliate rate? But do they really deserve an affiliate rate if they send you one job?
Mhm, mhm.
No, not really. I mean, you may do it out of just being nice and going like, oh, you're an apps member, or you're a, mighty process server.
I
Okay,
see that
cool.
I see that more and more is that when people are sending one jobs, they want that, low rate. And to me, I'm like, it's not any different. If you were sending me multiple during the month, maybe might do that. But for one, why am I doing it for one?
Mhm. I would get excited, and me personally, I would get excited and say, and I've done this before, I said, you're going to send me work? Great, great. Okay, so let's talk about this. I'm actually happy to do this for you. Instead of charging you $100 a serve, why don't we actually do $50 a serve? They're like, whoa, that's way cheaper than the 65 or 75, but like 50. And so I'll send you an invoice right now for the first five or the first 10. How about I send you an invoice for $500? That'll cover your first 10 jobs. Okay. And let's start there and you'll have a credit with me. They're not going to do that. And the ones that will do that, you probably want to keep them because they're like, yeah, absolutely. I'm going to send you work. It's like putting your money where your mouth is. I've only
Yeah.
had one person do it, and then I ended up having to refund half of it because they didn't send me enough work. They didn't send me any more jobs. So um, it's like, yeah, just pay my normal rate, dude. We're having to go out there 5 or 6 times anyways. So,
Mhm.
Oh, so I just recently became a, NAPSA member, and I've been toying with it for a while. For anybody who's not, it definitely is worth it because in the first 10 days that I was an active member on NAPS, I probably got 18 jobs. And then one of them has sent me probably 24 subpoenas now.
Oh, wow.
Um, and I mean
nice.
for medical stuff, but he sent me one initially, and then he kind of, I think he got one over on me, but now since he sent me 23 other jobs, I think it's kind of worked out. But I think
Mhm.
he just wanted to test me to see if I would, how reliable I was since I was a new NAPS member.
Yeah.
But yeah, but then now it's turned into 23 other subpoenas. And I mean, and they're from Florida, and Florida charges really low anyway
Yeah.
for serves. So I
Yeah.
think they're used to paying a certain amount. So I guess that's one thing I would recommend is like research the rates on where the jobs are coming from, because there's a shock factor when they're used to paying $50 and then you tell them $100 and they're
Mhm.
gonna like, hell no.
Yeah, even $50 is a lot down there actually. Like you'll pay a contract, a forwarder, right? You'll pay someone like me, you'll pay me like I have an Orlando office, right? You pay me, 147, I'll hire somebody for 15, 25. I actually always pay 25 down there and for the people we send stuff to and they love it because the local people there are only paying them 18, 15, or 18. So for 25 they're like, yeah, they got like I got 3 for 25 today. They're excited about it. And I'm like, well, okay, like all right, I'll send you all the work I can get down there, man. Let me tell you.
That's
'Cause-
such that's such a difference because I see California papers come through on the other end and they're
mm.
like $300. I'm like, I need to just be selling, going ahead and serving California papers here in Texas.
They do. California is yeah, and it's a very California is very similar to some places in the north that just have like there's one person in a 3-hour radius, and he's a private investigator, and you charge for mileage. It's like $150 plus mileage. It's like I can't make any money on that. That's why it's so hard to find service. So that's why it'll get expensive fast. Don, you had something?
Yes. So,
Yeah.
in regards to naps, I agree with Sean. It's very well worth it. Um, we got our first client the next day. Sent us, now this is an anomaly. Sent us 12 serves, so it was paid for the year. Um, and it was really good at first. Then it has slowed down. Now, I encountered something this past week where it really, excuse my French, I am not a cusser, but it really pisses me off. The fact that um, so somebody was calling to find somebody in my area, and then someone else took it and put it on naps as if it was their job, and they were looking for somebody.
Interesting.
And I found that out because the person, they gave me the address and everything, and it was the same identical, job. And then he contacted me. He's like, how much you charge for this? And I told him. And then he let it slip the other guy's name that I talked to. So it just really, I think people are misusing the organization in regards to that. And I hate to see that because, this is somebody in another state that contacts me and talks to me, and I'm just that person. I'll talk, but I see now that he's like trying to get my techniques, I guess you would say.
Hmm.
And then now it's being used against me. So that's really upsetting. But NAPS, for what it's used for, is good. Do your research, because if you have 5 other NAPS members in your area, that's your competition with NAPS. So, do your market research, find out what your competition's doing, because you don't want to pay for a membership and then be twice as much as everybody else. Because we got a lot of low ballers around here that are crappy. So
Yeah.
I'm okay with gaining my clients through the service that I provide.
Yeah. Great feedback, Don. Yeah. That's something to think about with the nap stuff. Yeah. Mr. Jacob.
Yeah, I would agree that, when I joined before, when we were first doing stuff, Mike, for me, the value that I got out of it was the fact that NAPS is kind of the front runner. If y'all have not heard this before, but NAPS is the front runner when things are going on for our industry. And so, I joined because of Mike Reed, Mike Kern, Cliff Jacobs, all of these other names, right, that are out there, because those are the folks that were the movers and shakers on the back end of stuff when it came to our industry. So when you hear things like people saying, well, the days of the process server are numbered because there's AI or different stuff like that, well, just know that NAPS does put a lot of money into uh, lobbying for on our behalf, right? And so that's where I do see the value. I would agree. I did make my money back really quickly the first time I joined, and the second time I joined or re-upped, it came back pretty quickly. But I did see a trend at the end, just like Dawn has explained, where it was like email, 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 and they want you to jump through hoops in a response to give them a quote, and then they either like ghost you, or next thing you know, you see like somebody else trying to refarm it, like Sean said, like a broker. Now they want to be a broker of process serving, and it's like, man.
Wow.
So I would agree with that, but ultimately the true value that I took from it, Mike, is that, right? Like that they lobby for us and they on our behalf.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. Love it. So, hey, Mark,
That's
how you
Mike.
doing? How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, buddy. Maybe a quick break would be good for you.
Yeah, later.
Yeah. So, like I'm working these guys to the bone here. So, I love that, Jacob. It actually ties in perfectly with what we're talking about. Is NAPS itself brings you business and protects the industry, and a lot of these collection clients that we're talking about. And Sandra, I know you had your hands out. I want to get to you as well. But the collection clients are the biggest offenders. That was the last point I wanted to make. Is they're the biggest offenders to collection, what they call mailing bills. They they make a lot of money collecting on the behalf of hospitals and credit card companies and all these, right? But actually collect debts. Well, and they make a lot. I mean, a high percentage, like 90% of the money they're collecting is goes in their pocket, not the clients. And sometimes even more. And what they want to do is they know legally the person has to be served in order to know they're being sued. And what happens is NAPS is that sentinel. Okay. Like what Jacob was saying, I just want to reemphasize this. NAPS and association like CalSPRO, they're those sentinels standing there going like, you cannot just mail somebody to serve them. And what the collection companies keep trying to do is say, hey, uh, we want to send them a certified mail so they can just sign, and then we don't have to hire a process server. It's actually saving the workload and financial load on the actual consumer. And so a lot of people actually look at that and they go, that's actually kind of true. What if they could just get it by mail and they're okay getting it by mail and signing for it? We don't have all of this money involved in between another middleman to go deliver it. So on a logical sense, you're like, okay, I can kind of see that. Like if you weren't a process server, but then the problem is there's so much fraud involved. There's so much, hey, oh no, they got it. Well, what if a kid signed for it? What if someone else signed for it? How do they actually know? So I just wanted to make you can't truly fight for your side of an argument if you can't understand the merits of the opposition's side of the argument, right? So that's why I want you to understand, like, logically, it does make sense because I get things and I sign for them, right? And sometimes I have to show an ID and sign for them. So if you understand that side of it, you can understand why we need. So whether no matter whether you believe it'll ever happen or not, I don't know, but that's why we need NAPS. We need these associations to fight for us. So when people say is NAPS worth it, that's why I always go like, yes, it's worth it because we need an industry so we can continue to be process servers, right? Because without that sentinel to be there to be like, hey, cool, it's kind of logical in theory, but all of this fraud that's involved, and we've seen it in other industries, we've seen it in the insurance industry, we've seen it in the stock market industry, all of the fraud that's involved. Anytime I buy a stock that's over, $10,000, they send me a FedEx package immediately. I have to like fill it out and FedEx it back to them. And then they call and open it on a video thing. Like if it's a new stock that I'm buying, fraud is so easy to do that there's people try to figure out different ways to get around it. So CalSPRO has fought 10 mailing bills in California. And this new bill that Jeff Karakin so eloquently, or I appreciate him posting it in our community. He's a serve manager guy. He posted it in the community, and I pinned it as one of the top three. CalSPRO is going in and they're writing these bills and they're setting it up so that the process serving industry is even more protected. Similar to Texas, actually. Texas actually has made it a part of their judiciary with the what do you guys call it? The
JBCC.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes. And so it's very protected. Process serving isn't going anywhere in Texas anytime soon. Sandra, you had a comment.
Yes, I just want to chime in on the NAPS, and I'm also a member of two other associations here in Texas. And what I've been seeing with NAPS, and I'm not talking about the NAPS. The NAPS is doing what NAPS is supposed to do to protect us in the legal field, like everyone was saying. But chiming in on what Don was saying, because I'm seeing the same thing as far as you have different people in both the process serving world and unfortunately the PI world. I'm in both. And what they're doing is, yes, they're regurgitating and reforming out work. And that's what's going on with, I will respond to 2 or 3 companies on the same, case that's reformed out. I've had that happen. I've had another case happen where uh, the guy found me through Naps and I recognized the job. So I just decided to again respond. And then in my response, instead of giving them a quote, I said, well, what is your budget? Trying to take another angle. What is your client's budget? I actually got a email, but he didn't send the work. He didn't, let me look at the work. Then he made it seem like he sent it through my website, the new one. I'm like, yeah, something wrong here. So he left a number and I called him back. And basically what it was a PI. And that's what's balling my behind. But it was a PI. And he made the mistake of telling me, well, I've been paid to do surveillance and serve, and the guy lives there, and yada yada yada. Okay, fine. So I said, well, so what is the price range you're trying to stay under? And it was like, well, I like to stay around 45. I'm like, 45 for what? And that's how I know what they're doing. Well, I like to stay, around 45 an hour. Mind you, I said, well, you need to just send me. You need to send me the file. Let me look at it, and I understand what you'd like to stay under, and yada. So I just sent him a nice quote, and I had my regular rates. I said, so for the surveillance part of it, I charge $125 an hour, minimum of 2 hours. For that side of town where you want me to serve it, it's $150. So I understand you wanted to stay within that 45, but yeah, I don't leave my house for 100 on a serving job. I do not go below 125 for API surveillance. And then it goes up from there. So you these are what they're doing. They're using the platforms, and they are, yes, reforming out, trying to find the lowest bidder. In most cases, they've already got the job. They're just regurgitating the jobs. And they're using, unfortunately, NAPS, TPSA, text apps, and whoever else on our platforms to find the lowest bidder, because they've already gotten paid for the job. And I try to stay away from those cases. So yeah, I hadn't heard back from him. Thank God for that.
Well, let me tell you something. Sandra, you hit the nail on the head when it comes to the jobs and where they're going and what people are doing. And the problem is it's all based on email. It's all based on really old technology. And any technology they have implemented was done. I remember Mike Kern came in and they had a technology committee and they implemented stuff. And then since he's left, they did away with the committee completely. There is no technology chair. They just kind of are running on what they've already had set up. And this is where in the jobs board that I'm creating, it's going to give more transparency where it's like the person that posts it, you can bid on it, you get accepted for it, you'll be able to see the quotes inside of your system, and then you'll be able to only review people who have actually done work for you that you've hired through the system. So it's going to be, I think it's going to add a lot of transparency. And what I'm hoping this is what I'm hoping for any NAPS people that are officials that are listening. So I'm hoping they'll say, Mike, can you help us implement that on our system? Because I'm not anti-NAPS. I'm like, hey, I'm pro progress in technology and making us go with everything so that we don't become irrelevant. Right. And TPSA has actually reached out to me and asked me to come up with something, and we're just waiting to see if they want to pay my fee. And then I'll give them the same stuff I'm building for their platform. So Don, you had something.
Yeah, so what Sandra was saying, I want to make sure that there's two sides of it. So I bid on those jobs in NAPS, but I have affiliates that I provide them to. I'm not out shopping. I've got affiliates throughout the state of Oregon, but that's what I do. I don't sell it to another company. Um, I had that happen to me 2 weeks ago, and the affidavit literally came from another company that I don't care to do business with. And the person that I hired to do the job sold it to that company. And I'm like, you know, I don't like dealing with them because of their customer service. So it's just,
Yeah.
I don't know. I wish there was some regulation into it. And I know we're all out here hustling. I know it's, we're doing what we can do to make money, but I think the ethical part of it is a little bit shaded.
I
Yeah.
mean, unfortunately, I hate to say it. I mean, coming from the other industry that I was in, I mean, it's just part of business. These big companies, I mean, they know they have the power, and so they're just going to keep doing what they're doing until there's some kind of regulation in place to stop it. But like even in the food distribution industry, I mean, these big companies that own the market, they strong arm these smaller companies into doing their deliveries at their price, not what the other company wants to do it. And if you don't do it, they're just going to move on to the next company, and then you're going to go by the wayside. But
Love it.
I mean,
Love it. It's
it's
true.
just business.
True. Appreciate it, Sean. Sandra, appreciate it. Sandra, you had something else?
Yes, and so it's a difference when your company bid the job and you have affiliates and you give the jobs to the affiliate. I think mostly of what's happening now is that, and it's not necessarily the larger companies. Sometimes it's just a server or a PI or whoever that bid the job. They and then try to just not do the job. And
Yeah.
what they do is not send the I've had a server that did that. They did not send the client's instructions. And they renegotiated after they knew it was like a $500 job. They renegotiated with me a lower fee to do less than what the client wanted, and then that client reaches out to me, and it's causing a problem.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
but that's what they're doing. They're kind of trolling our platforms. They're bidding on the jobs. They're taking the money because apparently, look, this phone call with this PI. Well, they already paid me. Okay, well, I don't care what they paid you. That was mistake number one, telling me they already paid you. And then when I asked, well, what's the client's budget? You give me a low ball of 45 an hour. I don't know a PI in Texas that does that.
Yeah.
They don't do 45 an hour, even if they have a contract with the attorney, different attorneys on a case, or with the DA's office. That is not the going rate for a PI. So you're just lowballing,
So
and
Sandra,
I'm not gonna do that.
let me tell you, as soon as NAPS creates a technology committee again, the conference is coming up. And as soon as they have a committee again, we will all stand in line and we will raise our hands and go fix it. Okay. But until then, we will create a platform that is better. Not, I don't want to say better than NAPS because it's not a comparison. It's actually a tool built inside of our community that's going to allow us to share jobs inside with each other. And so inside this Zoom here, I'm going to share a link in the chat for you guys to join a WhatsApp group. I want to be specific that this WhatsApp group is specific for feedback about the app. I've also shared a link to the app. My developer is going to freak out because he said, share it for like 2 or 3 people, but I want you to get in there and really stress this guy out. Okay. I want you to put it, go in there, try to create a profile, don't pay. Okay, don't pay. That's something I told him. I said, why is it allowing them to try to pay when it's just brand new? He said it's a part of Stripe and it's like integrated with Stripe. So don't pay. Okay. But get in there, and I was going through it today with him, showing him how it didn't work and stuff. So don't expect too much, but get in there, check it out. Let me do a quick screen share, actually. Or no, I'm not going to highlight this too much, but I just wanted to let you see what I'm talking about. So he's in there working on it right now. So if you come, you could wait till later today. It'll probably be much better for you. But essentially, there's going to be a zip code search. It's all spread out. It's not designed yet at all. It's very basic, right? Very basic functionality. But what you can do is you can come over here to portal login. Uh, yeah, it should come up with login first. So he's going to fix that. But you could come over here, create an account. Once you create an account, you can actually come over here and I believe I could sign in. Let's see if it'll let me sign in really quick. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And what's really cool about this, I'm really excited to see, is that you're going to be able to see the jobs. People can get quotes from you. I'm sorry, you can get quotes from other people that you've searched on the platform, right? And you can see if you're waiting for the quotes to come back from what people say they're going to charge you. And then over here under jobs received, these are quotes requests you've received. And if you've sent them back an amount, then they can go ahead and hit yes and then pay you whatever your rate is that you quoted, plus a fee, of course, to cover transaction fees and stuff. So if you get logged in, what I want you to try to do is I want you to come over here. I want you to upload your logo, and just because we want to see how this works, right? I want you to come over here, upload your logo, and actually go through and fill out your profile. Some of these boxes, yeah, see, it wasn't working. So it may not work for you right now, but just get in here and check it out and let me know inside the WhatsApp group your feedback. I've already put it in the chat. It's really only available for people who came to this call today. So I've already sent it to a couple people. We got some feedback. The most important thing is don't pay. Okay. Don't pay for it. All right. If you, because I know some people tried to pay and it declined because I think he has it in test mode, which thank goodness. But I'm really excited about this. I've spent a lot of money on this developer who's very proven. Okay. He's worked on apps that you've heard of. I don't know if I'm supposed to share that. But he's worked on apps, like one of the main guys that worked on these apps. So I have no doubt that in a few months from now, this app is going to be zooming. Okay. We're going to be able to post jobs. We're going to be able to bid on jobs. And that virality of being able to see your job posted, like a Craigslist post or like an Upwork post, being able to see it there and watch people bid on it and you're getting those bids live is going to be pretty cool. Sean?
Yeah, I know you probably want this in the WhatsApp group, but you can't click on any when you're creating the profile.
Mm-hmm.
You can't click on any of the services that you provide or the states. They're all there, but you can't click on them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so when I met with him today, I was going over that. I'm like, I need to be able to click on these. And that's why if you guys get in there and you do it and see it and give all this feedback, I could just show that to him. Give me that feedback in WhatsApp. I can show it to him, whatever it is, and also things you'd like to see in there. Like one thing I would really want to see is a star system. This is going to be probably the next phase or third phase, but the ability to review people on the platform, but it's only people who've hired you before. No, yeah, you can review people who you've hired through the platform and have some
You can't,
ability.
and you can't create a profile because you can't submit anything. So like when you go down all the way to the bottom of the page where it says submit, it's grayed out. You can't click it.
I think that's because you, yeah, I did that too. I think that's because of the email, because you already have an account, because you're one of the people I sent it to. If you're brand new, I think it'll let you submit once. And I try to change my email, and he's like, "Well, you don't want people to change their email, do you?" And I'm like, "Sometimes people change their email." So he's going to actually create it based on an ID instead of the email. So anyway, this is going to be a work in progress. Like I'm kind of a perfectionist when it comes to design. I like things to be a certain way. And so I'm trying not to be too OCD about it. I'm like letting him do his thing. So creating this process where kind of live, which can be embarrassing for some people. For me, I'm like, I want to create this for you guys, for this community, for us as a community. And the only way to do that is to get your feedback. So right now it's like an infant baby. Have you ever seen like a friend of yours that had a baby and it was kind of ugly? And you were like, bruh, that baby is ugly. You didn't tell him. You didn't tell him it was ugly, right? But I need you to tell me that it's ugly so that we can fix it. Edge, watch. Let me give you an example. Edge, show your baby. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. She's a
Mike,
beautiful.
that is so wrong.
No, I can say that because I'm its goddad. I'm literally its godfather. Aren't I, Edge? I'm his godfather. So I can say that.
Ninong Mike.
Edge just blocked you.
Yeah, I'm just blocked. She's quit. No, it's how do you say it again in Filipino? It's Ninong. Ninong. It's Ninong. So cool. Well, this has been fun, guys. I love all the feedback from everybody. We're having a good time. If you guys aren't if you guys we're redoing the Start Here course and like updating the steps. And right now we're working on a step 12, which is going to give a complete list of all of the things that a VA can do for you. And we're organizing it just so you guys kind of are aware to keep things very organized and helpful. We're organizing it where Edge is learning like the 25 top things basically that a VA can do for you and in relation to calling, managing your serve manager, managing your all the stuff around process serving, doing proofs. Edge is becoming the expert. She already knows the most, so we're about it. So we're teaching her so that she could teach a VA that you choose. Okay. Mark is learning all about he knows a lot already, but again, he's focused and doubled down on Mighty Automation to help you implement Mighty Automation. So you can reach out to him, book an appointment. It doesn't cost you anything more, anything extra. And if it's something I need to hop in on, I can hop in and help figure it out. Okay, but he's my go-to for everything Mighty Automation. And then Mary's Everything website and development and SEO, and she is like deep in with my business. 123 Legal Support. She is created. We won't do it now because we went kind of long today, but Mary is deep. She just did an article around a video. I've made a bunch of videos for my company with the blue background and the blue shirt and everything for 123 Legal Support. So she's writing articles around those videos using SEO principles and FAQ pages, basically for the FAQ page to make Google happy. So again, each of these VAs are learning something a little bit different. What's really cool is for $5 an hour, we will hire a VA. Okay, we pay them, you pay us as a contractor, $5 an hour. And we hire, train them, support them, manage them, give them all the tools they need to support you in your business. So for about $250 for 2 weeks worth of pay, you could have a VA part-time working about 5 hours a day. And if they work out, then we can go full-time, which is about $400, which is about $800 a month. So for $800 a month, you can have a full-timer that's handling all your proofs, managing all of your incoming jobs, even answering the phone for you, and they work during our time. It's like a no-brainer. Once you've reached that $10,000 a month mark, you need a VA. You need to let go, stop being a control freak. That's me. That was me. But as soon as I let go and let Edge take over a lot of that stuff, and then eventually we brought on Mary, and then Mark, and now Jessica is learning all things process serving because we're moving from using a local person in the US to teaching a VA to handle all of my process serving stuff. I don't just tell you you should do it, I do it too. So, you guys have anything else, or are we going to call it a week and you guys are going to go crush it and have a great week? All right, Edge, get ready. Where's Edge? Get ready for the picture. All right, you guys go out, take care, and take mighty action. Let's see it, Terry. I know Terry's got guns. Let's see him. Boom! Dwarfing me. Jacob, wake up. Boom. Yeah, buddy. She got it. She got it.
Have a good day, everybody.
Guys, you guys are awesome. Thanks for hanging out with me, making me feel important. And any way I can help you guys, let me know. Reach out. You guys can go to mightyautomation.com, not Mighty Networks or any of the other mighties, just mightyautomation.com. Type it in, go to contact and schedule an appointment. It'll go on Edge and Mark's calendar, and then they make sure if I need to be there or if they have questions, then I answer them and I'll show up if I need to. I know I'm meeting with a couple people today, so you guys take care. Thank you so much for coming. We'll see you guys in the WhatsApp group.